Let's take it across to our experts and find out what they're making of the market so far and where is it that there is fresh investment opportunity as well. Sunil Subramaniam, we've got Naresh Mirani as well as CA Rudramurthy all joining us on the show right now. Gentlemen, hi, afternoon. Naresh, let me start off with you. Range, but then again, we've sort of found our feet around that 23,350 plus mark actually now on the Nifty futures. What's the trading range that you're calling for the Nifty right now?
The range is being formed as of now. Say if you have to look at the previous range, so the previous day before candle 22,800 was the say the lows, and before that also somewhere closer to that with which we closed. So 22,800, 23,000 is the support on the downside. And now we could be forming a new range over the next 3-4 sessions, wherein it could maybe shift towards 23,100, 23,200 as the bottom. And on the upside, closer to say 23,600, 800. But the bias is positive. The broader markets continue to remain positive. We are seeing sectoral rotations as such. So the bias is positive, but we may not see a similar spiky move as we saw last week. So we could be in a slow move right now.
Okay, so that's the call at the index level right now. But say Rudramurthy is with us also on the show. Rudramurthy, what's your sense on the market? Because the Bank Nifty is clearly flat, but it's a broader market which is showing you quite a bit of vibrancy. Is that the bet right now? Broader markets or mid-cap, small-cap versus large-cap?
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks for having me in the show. So first of all, Nifty and Bank Nifty having made a big move post that verdict what we got last Tuesday, now it is the time for mid and small cap to do the catch-up job. So for me, both Nifty and Bank Nifty will see some amount of time-wise consolidation here, but I'm very, very bullish on market. And even after seeing yesterday portfolio, which more or less remains with the same people who were there last term, and even if you see the short positions which were earlier there, they are getting covered. So both technically on chart as well as the fundamental news flows which are there, I'm saying this is a market to still buy every dip and there is no shorting whatsoever. And broader market, as you were asking, they can definitely outperform now, having seen at index level a big outperformance last week. So to be very specific on levels, Bank Nifty for me has now made a bottom and 49,500 will be a very strong support. Every dips to those levels can be bought. And similarly on Nifty for me, 22,500 is the strong area where market has just made a long-term support there. And now for very short term, every dips to 23,200, 250, I will be buying. Even at current market price, I'll be buying both Nifty and Bank Nifty. All-time high is just a matter of few points which it will cross. I expect more short covering and fresh buying. And yesterday, for the first time, both FIIs and DIIs are on the buy side. So I expect this market and this rally to continue. Broader market will outperform for some time.
Broader market outperformance here to stay. Let's cut across right now. We've got Prahlad Joshi, who took over the charge as the Minister of New and Renewable Energy. Let's hear out what he has to say.
More confident. 100 days का प्रोग्राम आर.के. सिंह जी पहले मंत्रालय देखते थे, उनके नेतृत्व में हमारे जो अधिकारियों का आर.के. सिंह जी के नेतृत्व में तैयार किया है, वो पहले 100 डेज का था, बाद में 125 डेज का हुआ है। उसका भी मैं समझता हूँ, रिव्यू भी लेता हूँ, बाद में आपके साथ डिटेल में मैं बात करता हूँ। थैंक यू, धन्यवाद जी, थैंक यू।
Well, given the government's focus on the renewable energy sector, given the stock market's interest as well in that sector, hoping that the minister will have some few new announcements as well lined up once the 100-day agenda is in place. But for now, it's ONGC sitting right on top there. GMR Infrastructure has been holding out very well, a good 5% dash coming in on that stock. There you go, ONGC, currently at 273 thereabouts. GMR Airports, 91.70 on that stock. IRCTC has been holding out very well, another 5% dash coming in there. Gujarat Gas almost scaling up 5% higher, and Concor as well higher by about 3.6%. Sunil, hi, afternoon. Welcome to the show. You know, we were just chatting about outside the studio how it's been a week now to the election verdict and what was happening last Tuesday to where we are currently, pretty much around the all-time highs. What is it that you've done in the last week? Were you a seller in Tuesday's weakness and then a buyer thereof? Or were you buying on Tuesday when everyone was in panic mode?
Yes. we were continuous buyers because the panic was essentially a concern driven around the coalition dharma and how that would affect allocations of the government to capex and all of those kind of worries. Whether the government would indeed be, strong, would the two main support partners of the NDA, drift away or not. So I think these are all things which distract. And so for us, any such corrections were buying opportunities. So not at all an issue. We've been continuous buyers through this process.
Sunil, did you buy more of the same, or there was a bit of a different theme this time around when you were going out to buy? Because I'm trying to understand, have you started perhaps looking at broadening your horizon into a lot of rural plays, staples, etc. as well, or you're continuing with the PSU themes and the spaces which have been doing well?
No, I think the slight shift, sector rotation into the consumption and like you mentioned, the broader, lower, the rural consumption. See, one of the things with coalitions is that you will definitely expect a little bit of more revenue expenditure to go down the thing. We may think that even Narega subsidies could go up a little bit. So I think the budget will give a clearer direction, but we do know that given the fact that the election results were not to the kind of expectations of the government itself, they will be trying to fix those problems. And from what you can see, that 2 or 3 big states in North, UP, Haryana, then the Maharashtra, where the results were not to their liking, right? You would see that that's a farming belt. The UP is a sugarcane belt, Maharashtra sugarcane belt. So definitely you will see action around minimum support prices. You will see action around Narega flows in there. So I think that consumption as a sector, and from a more broader, you've seen a K-shaped kind of recovery in consumption, clearly at high-end SUVs, larger houses, those kind of things are the ones which are basically driven consumption. The broader consumption hasn't picked up fully before the elections. We think that in the run-up to now the budget, as well as going forward, there will be a little more increased focus by the government on, given that there's a big state election in Maharashtra coming up in 6 months' time, definitely there will be a slight change in the government's allocation and plans, and consumption will be the beneficiary of that. So we have been adding consumption related, we already had them, just that we're topping it up now.
Other than consumption, Sunil, which you just flagged off, you think some of the microfinance or small NBFCs, small housing finance companies as well is the theme that could be looked at?
Absolutely, because see, housing has that the double-edged advantage that it's a consumption indicator, right? It indicates people's outlook towards life, and they're buying more houses. I mean, they're more positive in consumer sentiment. But it actually reflects itself in infra-related stocks and sectors like cement and steel and building materials and and this stuff. So I think housing is a very, very good thing from the government's perspective. It also construction creates employment generation also. So it kills multiple birds with one stone, if I may use that word, that phrase. So from that point of view, I see a lot of emphasis. It came through in the Mr. Modi's announcement yesterday on the rural housing. But overall, we are very bullish on that because even with the interest rates going up and the EMIs going up, affordability houses is still at a 25-year low, right? So it's very, very affordable now. So I think that housing is definitely something that, and companies which finance that, especially those which go down the income pyramid, right, to the bottom of the pyramid, I think that's where there will be a little bit of growth. And so, yes, that's definitely a sector of interest to us.
Right. Okay, Sunil, hold on to that thought. We're going to take a very quick break on that note. Still holding on to our gains, but let's see what transpires in the last lap of trade.
Welcome back. Well, a lot of sectors buzzing around, especially from the oil and gas space. So you, of course, have ONGC, which is trending higher. Oil India is having a good day. And then a couple of other companies from that entire basket is also doing quite well. Remember, the oil minister did talk about the fact that they're willing to bring in the natural gas as well as petroleum and diesel products into the ambit of GST. We did speak with Harshvardhan Dole earlier in the day. He's, of course, the oil and gas expert joining us from IIFL Securities. And he talked about that is one of his top expectations, that some of these products will come under the GST ambit and hence will improve some of the visibility for the stock prices. In fact, listen into a slice of the conversation we had earlier.
Key thing that I would like to see in the sector over the next 12 months is inclusion of natural gas under the GST. And that should actually bode well for the entire gas utilities pack, including the CGTs. As of now, I think within the three CGDs that we track, IGL is a preferred pick because it has mastered the technique of balancing volume and price growth. Mahanagar Gas, which is trying to revive the volumes, unfortunately is sitting on peak margins. And therefore, even if the volumes were to grow, the margin compression basically will more or less offset that, leading to muted earnings growth. And therefore, we do not like the risk reward in Mahanagar Gas. Gujarat Gas, unfortunately, also is sitting at the peak margins, and a lot more things have to happen in addition to GST for us to turn favorable in case of Gujarat Gas.
Sunil, curious to know, where is it that you find value, if you do at all, in the entire oil and gas pack?
It's hard to find value. I don't think value is the term at all to use in the current market in that sense, right? So you can only say where can there be unexpected surprises upside. Is there as where there's value, because everything is reasonably good news is being priced in across the market, and unless you are very confident that in some case the upside can be much higher, right? That's where a sense of you buy growth at this price, expecting at this growth rate, and comes better, then you make profits from that. So I would not go around carrying a value hat at this point in time.
On that note, we'll let you go. Thanks so much for making time and speaking with us today.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.